Hello everybody and welcome to Callers, and this is MaurineDippy, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make a neon background, very similar to this one here. So what you're going to want to do is go up to File and go to New, and I'll just put it neon background for the name. You're going to want the preset custom, the width, you want it what the width of your screen is. So mine is 1372 by 813 pixels, and so that's the width and the height of my screen in pixels. You can measure it in inches and then change it in inches here, but just do that. And then for the resolution, you're going to want to go to centimeters and change it to 40 to 50. I'll put 45. Okay. And then for color mode, you're going to want to make sure it's an RGB color, an 8-bit, and make sure the background contents are white. This is very important. So click OK, and it's going to create this white slab for you. The first thing you want to do is press Control and then I, and it's going to change it black. Make sure you click Control I, you just don't use Paint Bucket. Control I. Okay. And on Macs it's going to be Command I. Or, yeah, I think it's Command I. So then what you're going to want to do is right click on this here, and if you're in Elements it won't be like this, but so you're going to want to right click here and click Layer from Background, and then just call it Background, I guess. And make sure you change this here to you can go to Mode and you can change things here. You're going to want to click on Lighten. If you don't click on Lighten, then you can go over to here and change it to Lighten. Okay. So this is on Lighten. You're going to want to highlight that layer and go up to Filter and go to Render and go to Lens Flare. And you can put this anywhere on the screen you want. I like doing one down here. And if you go to Filter and then Render, Lens Flare, and if you bring one anywhere in here, anywhere you choose over here. But I'm going to do mine over here. You don't have to do two, you can do one if you want. And then what you're going to want to do is go up to Filter again and go to Sketch, Chrome. And if you zoom out by pressing Control I, this is what it's going to look like for right now. And you can increase the detail or the smoothness of it, but it's pretty good to just keep default settings. You can change it if you want, but it's your choice. So now you have this, and it doesn't look very good at all. So then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to right click on this and duplicate the layer about, I don't know, about 4 times maybe. 5 if you want to. So yeah, we'll do 4. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to choose what colors you want. So the first thing you have to realize is that the ones on top are going to be the brightest colors you see. The ones on bottom are going to be the least brightest. And be in the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the top. And you're going to go to Filter and go to Distort. Go to Wave. And you're going to change this to what you want. Now, instead of me using Wave, I think I'll actually use, and you can do this too if you want, I'm going to do Twirl. Now, if I zoom out and twirl, you can see how much it twirls. And I'm just going to... In fact, I only want to select this part for it to twirl. So I'm going to go up to that, and then go to twirl. And I'll do that. Then I want to only select this part for it to twirl up here. Go to filter, distort, twirl. Zoom out, and we will go the other way. Okay, now what you get to do is, so if you do that, you're going to want to highlight this entire area and change whatever you want over here. So go to filter, and go to distort, and go to wave. And I'm just going to change the generators, change the wavelength some. That's just a bunch of squares, 2 in each generators. Change the wavelength. And there we go. Now, you don't have to do this entire long process, what I just did, by selecting individual areas. Instead, I'll show you what you can do on the next one, and it's much simpler than doing what I just did. So, Control D, and then what you're going to want to do is color this. So you click Control or Command U, it's going to bring up your hue and saturation thing. Click Colorize. And since this is neon, you're probably going to want your saturation all the way up. And change it to the color you want. So I want it to be cyan. Now, if you lighten it, it's going to lighten the entire thing. So you don't want to lighten it. If you darken it, that's okay. It's only going to show up in less places. So the best place for it is just 0, because it won't lighten the black. So click OK. And now you have your first thing. Now, ooh, you see that? See that there? That there is because I highlighted that certain area there. So what you can do to fix that, this is just what I do. So you can do that. Click there. Go to Filter. Go to Blur. Go to Motion Blur. And do that. And now it looks okay. And if you still don't like it, you can just take the blur tool and just blur where you think you can see a line. Anyways, then what you're going to want to do is go on to the next one. And this is a much more simpler one. You can go to Filter, then I'm going to go to Distort, Wave, and this one you just got to change how the wave looks. The more generators, it's going to turn them into squares, so the less amount of generators, the better, for waves at least. Okay. Change the hue to, let's say I want it to be a purple. Change the saturation all the way up. There you go. Go to this one, go to Filter, go to Distort, Wave. Just change this one to that there, I guess. And we're just gonna go to the hue by Control U, go to Colorize, change it to what you want. Let's say I wanted a green. Turn the saturation all the way up. Go down to Background, copy, change it to what you want. So let's say we're going to go to distort, twirl, we'll go with wave again. And this time I want to increase the generators. Like so. Command U and change it to a color you want. So I'm going to choose yellow. And these are horrible color matchings. As you can see, I did a much better job with this one. And then go to the background in this one. I like going filter. And I always use wave for this one because I love it. And then I go to wave. And what I do is I just increase the amount of generators and the wavelength. And you don't want too many generators, you want them enough to that they're squares. And I'm pretty sure you actually want this as small as possible. And what I usually try to do is separate the squares. And I know you can do it because I do it all the time. And do stuff like that. Except for usually there's more squares, but I like it just how this is. And I almost always put these red. Oops. Make sure to colorize. Turn it red. Then there you go. And that's a neon background. Yeah, that's basically all how you do it. And, you know, others turn out better than others, and some turn out worse than others. Some turn out to be like this. Except for if you want to do something like that, you're going to have to go into it more by going into filter. Well, this is how you make it more advanced. Like make it better than just using the waves like that. You can go into filter and liquefy. If you're on elements, you can do this on elements too. In fact, it's quite a bit easier. You can go to distort and then liquefy. But go to liquefy, and you can just kind of move things around in here. You can increase the brush size too. And if you don't like what you did, make sure you just clean that up with this brush. And then it's going to change that. You can go to this, go to filter, and then liquefy. Change things around. Don't worry if you do something like that. It's totally fine. It's only going to change that there. So if you have something like that, it's only going to show through this background better. But that's okay. If you want to not do that, you can always do Control-Z and do it again. But if you're going to be doing that, it's okay if you do that, if you're not too picky about what you do. And you can, remember, change things out here too. And you can change different tools, like you can do the bulge tool, which makes things bulgier. Like so. That's going to do the results. And then we're going to go down to this background here, and we can go filter, liquefy, and you can just change these around. And you could make absolutely anything look better with Liquify, in my opinion, when it comes to these neon backgrounds. And it's going to return the results. And then we're going to go to this background. And we're going to go to Liquify again. And I'm just going to do this. Remember, if you do that, and if you don't like it, you can always do that. But yeah, I'm just going to go up and down this. Maybe a few diagonal. And it's going to do the results for it. And generally, this will go a lot faster. The reason why it's not going very fast is, yes, I'm recording. Generally, this goes pretty fast. And red. I usually like leaving the background squared, so I won't touch that one. So as you can see, this is a pretty cool picture. So then what you're going to want to do is do File, Save As, whatever you want to call it. And I like doing JPEG. You can do BMP or PNG if you want, but JPEG is what I like. And save, and I like having the quality all the way up. You can change some things here, so if you really know what you're doing, you can do that, and baseline standard, but I like keeping everything how it is because it works fine. And I like having the maximum quality, especially for the background. It's going to save it, and I won't save that for Photoshop. And you find it, and as most of you know, you just set as desktop background, and there you go. So that is how you make a true neon background. Remember, you don't have to use 2 lens flares, you can use 1, and the result will look more like this, which I think looks pretty cool. Alright, thanks for watching the video. Please make sure to subscribe, rate, comment, and a like or a thumbs up. Anything, it'd be awesome, deeply appreciated. If anything, please leave a comment, even if it's just a random letter. Thank you, and